When you go to a 5-star hotel and you go to a kibanda, they're both selling chicken. Which chicken is not chicken? It's both chicken. I understood that when I'm marrying this woman, I'm not marrying one woman. I'm marrying more than 10.
How now? Na wale wanasema marriage bamba mafala.
The lady is looking at her life and thinking she cannot get because she has seen how men are. She's forgetting you have not seen the other side of you changing yourself enough to be accommodated by a man who would want to marry you. Do not ever assume you're smart enough, you're big enough, you're wealthy enough to outsmart a woman. You're not. If she decides to outsmart you, she has one thing you don't. Time to do it.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Once again, welcome to AM TV. And I'm your chairman, Alex Mokideo. Let me say asante. As usual, thank you for all the likes and all the comments. Thank you for subscription. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for spreading the word. Because that means we are growing. Inamaanisha kwamba AM TV inazidi kukua. This is the fastest growing podcast in the 254. And today, ndani ya season number 3. Season number 3 is all about big conversations, big guests. That's what I'm talking about. And there's something that over the years imekuwa katika roho yangu. Kwa Kiswahili tunasema ndani ya kilindi cha moyo wangu. And this is about money and marriage. Pesa na ndoa. Long time ago, I read somewhere, wakisema, the number one causes of divorce around the world, sio cheating. Sio cheating. It's money. Pesa. Chapa. That's the number one causes of divorce around the world. I don't know about now, but it was one of the main causes of divorce around the world. So today, I have a friend of mine, msee mwenye ameandika vitabu, msee ambaye huwa anaachilia wisdom sana on social media platforms. The one and only Joel M. KARIUKI. Karibu sana ndani ya AMTV, my brother.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you, bro.
Thank you.
Eish. Nakufuataga sana kwa social media.
I'm humbled.
I'm one of those guys who will watch one of your reels and after I'm done watching, naenda pale kwa share straight kwa bibi yangu. Straight kwa wife. So kwa DM ya wife ya IG kuko na reels zako mingi sana.
I'm humbled by that.
Kuko na reels zako mingi sana. So she knows you and she knows that you are coming here today. And today I don't want us to mix a lot of things because I know you've been talking about so many things.
Yes.
Mongelea mambo ya ndoa, mambo ya family, mambo ya hela, mambo ya business, and so many other things. But leo, I want us to talk about money and marriage. Double M. It's an issue that watu wengi wameniuliza katika DM zangu nini. A lot of people like to ask me that question. And so many people argue. Like, for example, at home where I live, mimi na wife wangu, we decided that hakutakuwa na siri when it comes to money.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
When we got married, I told her even before we got married, that when we get married, mimi na wewe, payslips. Open. So there's one bank account. All our monies go into that one bank account. Okay? Of course, there are others here and there, but she knows everything. And I know everything. What do you say about that?
First, I commend the fact that you actually open enough to do that. Because the first problem with when it comes to money with relationships is the man not accepting to share.
Yeah.
A relationship is driven by the man, not the woman.
Okay.
A woman cannot coerce you to marry her. A woman cannot coerce you to have kids. A woman cannot force you to stay.
All right.
So when the decision was made by yourself
Yeah.
to be open enough with your finances, the one thing, as you say,
Yeah.
messes up relationships, she felt the main thing that all women look for, safe. So she knew she's secure with this one. She knew she's secure in her life, with her children, and if anything happens, which is inevitable in future,
Yeah.
she knows that this man who is open enough to allow me to see his most delicate part, which is the finances, she's sure this is mine. And when a woman knows this is mine, she stays. She becomes feminine.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Have you done that?
What we've done for
Yeah.
us is we sat down before we started and looked at what we have
Yeah.
in two ways. Where did each of us come from when it comes to money? She grew up from a level of abundance. I didn't. When I understood that, I understood that I'm not good at saving. I'm not good at maybe investments in different places.
Yeah.
But because she's lived that life from the time she was a kid, she's good at it. However, I'm good at going to look for it. So when I get it, I would spend. On who? On her. So me spending on her, I'm feeling like, but the money is going to you. So why would you complain?
Yeah.
Not realizing I'm coming from a level of abundance from how I grew up. So any money that comes in would look like it needs to go somewhere. It can't stay in the accounts. It can't stay in the pocket. It needs to keep moving. And not in terms of investment. It is in terms of spending. So anytime she would sit down when we were starting, she would tell me, you cannot do that because what if it dries up?
Yeah, because you're overspending.
Yes. We need to take that money and do something with it.
Okay.
Buy even if it's an item in the house. At least now you can say, I bought that with money I made.
Yeah.
Put that money in an investment that you know every month or every week there's money going somewhere to compound.
Okay.
So we had that discussion from the onset. So when we started the relationship and got into it, I was sure that I would rather be giving this woman all the money that I make because I can tell she's able to compound it, even if I'm the one who's being directed, do this, do that.
Okay.
Why? Because we're coming from two different backgrounds of money. One from abundance, one that understands how to spend it and where to put it. Most relationships don't go beyond that because they don't see that. They think because now I'm making the money and I'm the man, I should be doing everything. I should be handling everything.
Okay.
You forget the level of intellect and emotional intelligence your wife has that you don't have. Because there's a way she was raised, there's a way she was brought up, there's a way society has taught her, there's a way school has taught her,
Yeah.
and there's a way she understands things that maybe you don't.
Wow. So, because at home, Mimi, I am the decision maker, because I don't understand that. I'm the man who decides, Yeah, we have this amount of money.
Yes.
This is what we're going to do. So I make all the decisions, like I guide. So how do you do that as a man when you've decided that because of your background, your wife is in a much better place to invest the monies, the family amount of money that you guys make? How do you then as a man, don't you feel like kidogo umeachilia ume wako mahali?
Two things here, Alex.
Yeah.
And one is masculinity. The other one is intentional thinking and action. First, start with the masculinity.
All right.
There's what society has taught you that marriage is. There's what society has taught you a man is. And there's what society has told you how you're supposed to live. They forget when they listen to this level of advice, that is what worked for them. If I ask you in the same point, if I ask you how you got to this level, and I ask another person who's been in radio the same question, you'll have very different answers.
It's true.
Because one size of shoe cannot fit all. yet you're in the same industry.
Mm.
So the same thing, when I got into my marriage, the first understanding is my masculinity is based on what principle? What do I stand for as Joel M. Kariuki?
All right.
Who is Joel? Once I get that, now I'm able to accommodate this woman in that she's coming with whatever it is she has been through. And I need to work on myself enough for her to come and live with me. And when I say live, I don't mean in a household. We can shift houses any day. I mean live, because I understood that when I'm marrying this woman, I'm not marrying one woman. I'm marrying more than 10.
How now?
When you're into courtship, or most people start with dating, and dating is a whole different thing nowadays. When people are into dating, the woman you're having fun with is not the same woman you'll get married to. She changes. The same woman is not the same when she first has her first child. Why? She changes. She goes through that 9 months and it messes up her entire being.
Yeah.
By doing so, she changes. Now you're marrying another one. Once she has the second kid, she changes because now she's dealing with 2 beings plus you.
Yeah.
She's dealing with her own traumas plus you. So you're marrying another woman again. As you hit 5 years, 10 years, she's changing. Now it's not the same girl you started with. She's older. Maybe she's 40. Maybe she's 45. Her body is changing.
Yeah.
Your body is changing. Maybe you become bigger, become slimmer.
Yeah.
Maybe you've now got some gray hair.
Yeah.
So she's also looking at you like, this is a different man. So she's marrying another man again. When you're getting into masculinity in this question that you asked, when you understand these levels, your masculinity changes because you're understanding the change as it's happening. You're not going in it with, this is the blueprint of marriage, this is the blueprint of, no. You're going with it with, I need to unlearn that. I shout a lot, by the way. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing something and it's hurting her. I need to work on that. If you identify something, you have to have the grace enough to sit with her and talk to her about it, not to attack. It's to identify, I've identified this, you have this thing. I don't like it. And this thing, if we continue with it, it's going to mess up our relationship. Why? When human beings argue, they argue about the two of them, not the argument. What is bringing the argument? You and your wife don't have a problem.
Yeah. It is the issue.
It's the issue that's the issue. Pirates of the Caribbean, the guy said, the problem is not the problem. The problem is who is thinking of the problem and who is dealing with the problem. On the second part of this,
the
relationships when it comes to money, anytime you talk about that sensitive topic, because we have made it sensitive, society has deemed conversing about money with your woman, the person you're going to live with for the rest of your life, the person who, in the event of anything happening to you, men and other women will leave you, but this person will be there. The person when you're sick and you cannot move and you're in a wheelchair, the person who's going to take care of you, the same person who has given you kids. You didn't pick another, you picked this one.
Yeah.
The same person you're raising kids with, you do not want to open up how much you make. Why? How does that even come along? How does that even make sense to society?
Because
this is the one thing that, as you're starting, you should sit down and talk about it. I have 1,000 bob between me and life. Don't ever say between me and poverty. That is degrading yourself and now you're destroying your future, because as you speak, so shall it be.
Okay.
When you're
I have
talking
1,000
about
bob between me and life.
and life,
Unasikia my wisdom.
thus,
Okay.
talk about it. Feel that ego being drawn out of you. Let it hurt. Why? As it hurts, you learn something. As it hurts, you realize I can actually make more by doing it with this one, because every money I bring to this household is ours. It's not mine. It's not for somebody else. It's mine. It's ours, because in the back of my mind, we are building.
What if, Joel, what if the other person is not like that? You know, what if you're alone in that? Bro, you're just alone in that. It's your idea. It's what you feel. It's what you want. It is the family you want to create. It is how your empire, you want your empire to stand. You know that is the foundation of what you believe in. And the other person probably doesn't believe in that.
I'll answer you that question in a very weird way. When you are 20, you as Alex,
Yeah.
there's a belief system that you had about women. When you hit 30s, it changed.
It's true.
As you hit 40s, it's going to change entirely. What that does to you as you're starting a relationship is, based on your current thinking capacity, based on your current emotional intelligence, that is going to determine how that relationship is going to move forward. So people get into relationships without a proper grounding of, why am I here? Why Alex? If your wife was to sit here and ask, and allow me to use her because we're having the
It's
discussion with you. If your wife was to sit here, why Alex? Why not any other dude? If you are to sit here, why her? And when you say why her, you don't get into the attributes. She looks like this, she does that, she's like this. No. It's the core values of why her. Who is she absent of the money? Who is she absent of you dressing up nicely? Who is she absent of you seated upright? And we can see that you're the dressed up man who, as Joel here, as a wise man, quote unquote.
Yeah.
When you get into a relationship with a proper grounding of why you are there, everything else ceases to exist. And the question that you're asking of what if goes out the door, because you're not here in two parts. You're here in one. We are headed somewhere. We are building together. We are doing this. And don't be lied to in that you're not then going to be there alone. You need to sit and vet the other person. How do you vet a person? You look at how they think about themselves, how they think about the future, not what they want, not what they believe in. How do they think about it? It's like when somebody asks you about a friend in absentia.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going to tell me, that is how you think about him or her.
Yeah.
So if your wife sits there and you're looking at her and you're thinking, this is going to be my wife going forward. If you understand those core values and they make sense to you, because in absentia of how she looks, how she walks, how she talks, you can tell that this person, even if she changes, like I said, you're marrying different people as time goes on,
Yeah.
you will still want her to be yours. So you're not now stepping into the relationship thinking, what if? No. You're making a conscious decision that I'm getting into this and I'm not getting out.
But I'm hearing you talking about the decisions you make as a person. And it is so much about you and not about the other person.
Yes.
It is you finding out what you want, where you're coming from, why now, why this person. It's all about you.
Yes.
You know? But now I'm asking myself, what if this other person that you want, and probably umeangalia umeona qualities zake, and you think those are the qualities you want in a wife, actually qualities that you're seeing now, maybe you won't be able to see later. In most cases, a lot of people say, kwamba tulianza vizuri sana. Alikuwa fiti sana. Alikuwa ameweza sana. Alikuwa mpole. Alikuwa, I never knew. I didn't know. You know, a lot of people would come to me like, I'm a change. Are you getting?
Yes.
This person has changed.
Yes.
You know, now what happens when you actually thought you were dealing with yourself, you are ready, you know, now I've matured enough. I think I'm ready for this one. I want this and this and this. But this person...
Good question. Hence the vetting files. You didn't take time enough to understand why. You didn't take time enough to understand why them. Two things here. As a man who is broke, when you get into a relationship and then you start making money,
Yeah.
mostly what happens to that man, you change. You grew up without.
When you start
didn't
making
have.
money.
Yes, you
you
didn't
change.
have. Now you have. And you have somebody here who you started with because she helped you get that.
Okay.
So what happens? Eventually you start looking for others because you don't see the sense of this, because you got that woman for the intention of growth, not the intention of
Alikuwa ni ya
marriage.
kuboost,
Yes.
grow.
And women are very good at that because they're able to stabilize a man and stop thinking of 1,000,001 things to do and focus. If you find the right one, you focus.
They are good at that. I agree.
Now, on the other part about this, when you look at the ideology behind why people get into the relationships and that happens is because you do not take time to get to understand the other person. Vetting is where you sit in the same way you sit in an interview and ask the person questions, and then you go ahead and look for companies that the person has worked for and ask, how was he? Why did he leave? What happened? The same way with this woman, you're sitting with her and not calling friends. That would be very shallow. You're sitting with her and taking her to different places to see. They say a wise man who's an old man. And I say it like that, not an old man who's a wise man who's an old man seated under a tree can see what a young person seated on top of the same tree, 1,000 kilometers away. What that means is when you're taking the woman to different places, you're watching to understand what. When she drinks, what does she do? When we go to church, what does she do? When she's dressed a certain way, in a provocative way, what does she do? When she's in the midst of her closest friends, how is she? When she's with my friends, who is she? When she's away and she has the house help in the house and you've been away for a week, a month, how is she? We don't take time to analyze these things. Lastly, you do not take time to introduce her to older folks. Back in the days, we used to take time to take our women to our fathers. Nowadays, it's very rare. You just start and you move on. And then after some time now, when there is conflict, you want to go to church and look for a pastor, or you want to go to the parents and talk. But you didn't start with that. Why? The same wise man can see. This woman, something is not right. And when you're told, because you come with ego of masculinity, you don't listen. So when it happens, you don't want to go back and realize you are told. Your friends told you. Her friends told you. You don't listen because in the guise of the relationship, you are seeing a perfect woman. Why? Because, and allow me to say this, when you're starting, women change depending on levels. If you're doing well in society, the type of women you're going to interact with is not the same as when you are starting out. These women come in the form of what you need. So she's come disguised as you're looking for. Mokideu has values that she's looking for in a woman. He has qualities, he has standards. So the woman comes with that.
Like an entire package of what I'm looking for.
Entire package. She cooks, she cleans, she does everything.
Because that's what I want.
But what happens? How do you know the real person? You only know the real person in 2 states when it comes to a woman. When you get married. And marriage, I mean having the ring. After that, she knows for sure you're not going anywhere. So you're mine. The second time is when you have a baby. When that baby comes, even if you do a DNA test and you're sure now it's yours, she has you. You're not going anywhere forever and ever.
Yes.
That is the time now she becomes the real woman. So instead of waiting for all that, why don't you vet through the ideologies I've shared here?
Na ukiambiwa usikie.
And when you're told, men, if you're told by something by another man, stop, Johnny anakuanga. Listen. I had a session one time with a very senior person. And he said the same thing you're talking about. And I told him, do not ever assume you're smart enough, you're big enough, you're wealthy enough to outsmart a woman. You're not. If she decides to outsmart you, she has one thing you don't. Time to do it. And she'll lose every single way to get it done, to get you where she wants you to be. Because you're forgetting to listen to your other fellow men who are telling you, Joel, this one, we have seen like her before. Your father has told you, something is not right with this woman. Your mother has told you, she just looked at you. But you, because you're Mr. Almighty who nobody can harm because you're powerful, you go ahead. And then that happens. Who do you blame? Women. Is it the woman who has done that, or is it you who has allowed it?
Some men are dogs.
And now, no, the women who say that are coming from a very different level of society because somebody hurt them. So she has nowhere else to let out that anger. So she'll say it like that. But if she meets a masculine man who understands the things I'm talking about, she will change.
Na wale wanasema marriage ubamba mafala.
I had that statement some time back and I failed to talk about it. I think I talked about it a few days ago. And why that statement came out is in two ways. One, the lady is looking at her life and thinking she cannot get because she has seen how men are. She's forgetting you have not seen the other side of you changing yourself enough to be accommodated by a man who would want to marry you.
Wow. You change
To become the wife that a man who would want to marry would want. So when you're saying marriage ubamba mafala, you're not looking at the mirror, you're looking at yourself. Why has nobody stopped you to marry you, to accommodate you? And some people might argue, hey, but you see the type of men that are out here. No. The type of men we're almost in December. The number of weddings around the world, you talk to people in events, there are millions. How? There are women who have been chosen by different men. Why
and
not
they're getting
you?
married.
Why not you? Because you're not taking the time to look at yourself in the mirror long enough to realize I need to work on myself to be accommodated by somebody, to build together. And when I say building, I don't just mean making money and doing things. When you have kids with a person, you have kids for like 18 years, live in the same household. And then they leave the same way we left our parents' houses.
It's true.
Then you're left with the same person. If you don't have the character, the grace, the wit, the intellect, and the emotional intellect to change accordingly, you cannot live with a person for more than 1 year. Most people don't even go past 1 month.
Because they're so used to their kids.
Yes.
Now they
Because it
can't
has
live with
become about the kids, not about the two of you. And then when it messes up, you blame the other person. So now it becomes marriage bamba mafala because it's always a blame game. It's you, it's them, it's those ones, these ones. What about you?
But Joel, you see, this issue is very delicate. The one you're talking about right now, where the kids come in and then somehow parents switch to now loving the kids more and they do not have time for each other like they used to before the kids. And then time comes and the kids leave.
Yes.
And now they're back to each other. And the conversations they were having throughout while raising the kids, ilikuwa ni Johnny amefeli mtihani, huyu amefanya hivi, huyu amefanya hivi, huyu amefanya hivi, mpaka ikakuja ikaisha. How do you as a couple manage to raise kids and at the same time continuing loving each other as a couple, the way you are before you even became parents?
Alex, 3 answers here. 1, why are you with her again? Are you with her because you just found some girl and then you just started something? Or are you with her because you're being intentional in building and growing and understanding yourself and realizing yourself and learning life and being? Once you're able to answer that question, the second part comes in. When you get these kids, you do not have a blueprint of how parenting is supposed to work because you have seen other people teach and train their kids. So the way you grew up and the way she grew up, you want to come in and give these kids what you didn't have. She wants to come in and give these kids what she didn't have, forgetting you're raising 2 individuals. One who is a woman and another one who is a man. The way you raise a woman is not the same you raise a man. So if you don't understand what you're doing because you're thinking these are kids, they are not kids. This is a small man in a small man's body. This is a woman in a small woman's body. She's going to grow and become you. And a question I always pose to people when I'm speaking and I'm having speaking engagements is, would you want your kids to grow up to be you? Majority of the times, no.
I want them to be better than me.
So,
I want them to be better than me.
And once you start thinking in those lines, now you start teaching. Because you as a father, you as a mother, your point is to teach these kids to be able to go out in the world and be able to conquer. Conquer what? The entire world. The same way you had to conquer. We grew up in a society where most people touched an ATM past 20.
It's true.
Most people touched
very
1,000
I'm one of them.
bills, 1,000 Kenya shillings,
Yeah.
past 18.
Very true.
Then you expect the same kids to know how to work, to tackle life. They can't. So by the time you finish high school, that's when most people are starting life, because they've come in with a framework of what they've seen their parents go through, what they've seen parents think about when you think about money. Because in your household, when you talk about money, there's a sense of fear. The child asks, Mom, give me this. Mom, help me with this. Hakuna. Hapana hiyo hakuna huku. Sa hizo kusoma kwanza. So they grow up thinking, until I finish the school, that's when I'll get these things. And then reality dawns on them, you don't actually get them. Now you have to go figure it out. What if you are taught how to
get them when you were growing up?
The third part about this is, in the process of all this happening, for those 18 or 20 years, the same person you're dealing with, remember the times when you were starting. What were you used to doing? What enticed you? What used to excite you? Do that. Go out together. You're the type of couple that drinks. One time a week, go out and party. You're the type of couple that loves nature. Go out as many times as possible. You're the type of couple that has never experienced anything to do with, let's say, flying around Nairobi in a chopper. Do it together. You're the type of person who you've wanted to go to a certain country to do some crazy things. Do it with her. You want to go to any type of club. Do it with her. You want to go drive at 200 kilometers an hour, or go to Germany and drive at the Autobahn at 350 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Do it with her. What that does to the two of you, you keep enjoying yourselves. You keep learning and unlearning each other. In the process, it becomes better and better and better. There's a saying that says, by the time you hit a certain age, which has no specific number, you need to have lived enough to tell stories. How do those
stories that you can tell?
Yes. How do you build those stories? Do it with your partner. Stop thinking you need to go out with fellow men or other girls or other. Do it with yours.
Then you will have stories that you can't be able to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Kwa sababu ulikuwa na boy wako.
Exactly.
Stories zenye ulikuwa na boy wako, you cannot be able to tell your wajukuu. You know, uko tu pale, uko tu zile za hawa wanijui hawa. Shona wazee wa hawa wanijui hawa. Hawa wanijui hawa. Sema basi ujulika.
Yeah.
But you can't share your stories because you were with your boys.
Because you did it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
At the right time. It's the wrong place because you're supposed to be with your wife somewhere doing these same crazy things.
Yeah.
But it's the right time because you are with the boys, so let's do it. And then you end up looking at it like, but they are that woman, that woman. No, you messed up. Take accountability. You messed up. Like I said earlier, the relationship is driven by the man, not the other way around. Because a woman does not pick a man. A man picks a woman. And if it happens in that route, it's going to fail. Because the inner...
And what if a man, and I'm asking this question because I know there's a person who's very close to me, and he shared with me the same story, that as a man, he tried his all. He tried his all. He tried with his wife. You know, he was really trying. Like, let's go out. Let's go out, have our own time. Mimi na wewe. You know, like the good old days. Lakini wife alikuwa yuko interested. Zile za, nikiwa na wewe, si enjoy. The wife alikuwa nasema, si enjoy anymore. Kuwa na wewe. I don't feel like I'm having a good time anymore. I'm not free anymore. Because somehow, maybe, I don't know. They had just their own issues and stuff. So now my question is, what if the wife doesn't feel like going out with you anymore? Because there comes a time when the wife feels, nikiwa na mabeste zangu na enjoy zaidi. When I'm out with my sisters, I'm enjoying zaidi. You know, with my college mates, they're doing masters probably, they're enjoying more than going out with you. So how do you deal with such an issue?
You essentially have two problems or two levels of misunderstanding within yourself. That's why you pick the wrong woman. Understand one thing first. Women are driven by identity and adventure.
Okay.
If any of that at one point in time ends, you can take a woman to Uganda and have matoke today.
Yeah.
On Friday, or today is Monday, on Wednesday,
Tuesday.
She has forgotten. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, she has forgotten because that was an adventure for yesterday. To you, it's for this month.
It is
so
for
now
this month.
She's looking for adventure again.
Hey, next.
Next. What next?
What
we did
next
that
after
yesterday.
this? Tumeenda Uganda tumerudi.
Yes. Now in the house the whole day. Can't we go somewhere? She's driven by that identity and continuous adventure. If you stop at one point, something is off. Now, back to the guy who picks the wrong person.
Yeah.
You're picking the wrong person because you're going into it with expectations. You cannot go into a relationship expecting. The same way a mother cannot be a mother to you, expecting you to be an amazing son, expecting you to grow and be.
So you have to be sure from day one.
Yes. You have to be sure from day one, who are you picking? Why are you picking her? Don't ask her. Don't. Why are you picking her? There are billions of women in this world. Why this one? In the process of picking, you might make the same mistake all men do because you are picking from what you understand. You're not picking from what you're being taught. You've not vetted. You've not taken the woman out to different places to know. In the process of all this happening, who is she? How is she? So now you're coming in by introducing what you can offer in terms of money value. Let me take her here. Let me give her this. Let me give her that.
Yeah.
You're forgetting woman, for a woman, that's like 0.5% of why she wants you. Hey, it's not even 50%. And if men can sit and talk about women are there because of the money, okay, they'll come in because of that money. Immediately after, you realize she's bored. She's pissed off. She doesn't want to be there because you are thinking she's there now because of only that. There are women like that, of course.
Yeah.
But if that is the reason why she's with you, you'll always have stress. You'll always be questioning, why do I take this one out and she doesn't? Stop expecting.
Wow.
Just be the man that you want to be and the man that who can accommodate such a woman at her level. I would advise such a guy, go sit with her. What do you actually like? What do you hate? What do you like to do? When you are growing up, what kind of life did you want? What did you want to do? Where did you want to go? Is there something that you've always wanted to actually actualize? Let's go do it.
Shikilia hapo. Joel M. KARIUKI, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Wisdom. I tell you, if you're married, this is your show. This is your show. Now, coming up in a short while, I want us to talk about money. Pesa ndani ya ndoa. You know? Now, how do you organize yourselves as a couple and as a family so that kids go to school? Hakuna siku atafukuzwa shule. Hakuna siku mtakosa chakula. You guys would probably even have one day or one holiday per year. You know, that dream life, that dream family life. How do you even save? What are you saving for? How do you invest as a family? How do you ensure as a man of the house that nyumba yangu haianguki? Ile nyumba ushago tutajenga. Kama tutajenga, ama tutajenga. You know, the people who are saying nyumba ushago haina maana. We want to have that conversation. It's very important. But at the moment, we take a break. I want to take you to Panari, Nyahururu. Went there with my family, and we had a blast. Check this video out. Now let me teach you, or let me introduce you to the Brown Olive Restaurant. Now that is Panari Nyahururu. You need to take a break once in a while with your wife and your children. Take them there, all right? Wacha waende waka-enjoy, nenda uka-enjoy, have your time with your wife. Wacha watoi wacheze kwa playground kule, there's a nice swimming pool, you saw it. You know, you need to have this for sanity. Akili tulie. You leave the hustle and bustle of the city, go out there and have a good time. All right? So you can book your space right now. Nenda tu pale katika Google Panari Nyahururu. Watakukaribisha, waambie AMTV likutuma, Alex Mwakideo likutuma pale, uta-enjoy. Back to the podcast with Joel M. KARIUKI. Author. Moja mnoma sana ananiambia there's another book coming up, atakuwa ananiambia later on. But now, my brother, this is the biggest nightmare for every man who's married. Every morning, you wake up in the morning na unajiuliza, kuna siku watoi wangu watafukuzwa shule. Watoi wangu watasoma paka. Wapate degree.
Yeah.
Will I build that house in Oshago? Will I build a house hapa? Tunaishi kama ni Nairobi, Mombasa, Tao, mali mnaishi, mali watoi wanasoma.
Yeah.
Will I continue renting? Ama one day, some magic will happen. How do you organize yourself financially as a family so that mnajua future yenu iko secured, bro?
In two formats first. Remember when I said you need to understand where you're coming from individually.
Yeah.
So that you know your strengths. Two, you need to learn finance. It's the most boring topic in the world, but it's the most essential topic in the world. Learn how. Whatever business you're in, there's money that's coming in.
Yeah.
Majority of people, especially in business, can come up with a few thousands per day, every day. But you ask them for a lump sum, it's can be a bit hard.
Yeah.
So if you don't know where to put that money, how are you going to ever invest? If you're only looking for quick fixes, you will never build. If you're only looking for, when I make this money, I'll have this. So you're dreaming instead of actualizing. This discussion of what to
You're
invest
dreaming
in,
instead of actualizing.
yes.
Okay.
The discussion of where to invest in comes into play because of lack of understanding where and why. I want to build a house. When? We want to buy a car. Which car? What type of car? Which year? Is it a purchase, an emotional purchase, or is it a conscious decision because we need it for our business? You need to answer these questions. Once you're looking at now the investment and you know, we need to have this type of house. Where? Is it an emotional, again, investment, or does it actually make sense long term? Do you need to buy that 1 million Kenya shilling suit? Or can you take that 1 million, put it in a fund, put it in an investment, it starts giving you some money. When you take that, when it starts compounding, you take that money and now invest it in something. What do? The inverse. We make some money, we go buy things. Those things end up becoming useless. Why? We are an economy driven by things, not an economy driven by why. Where are we headed? Where are we going? If you ask most couples, what do you want to have, the two of you, 10 years from now? They have no answer. Where do you want to live? You don't know. Where do you want your kids to go to school? They don't know. Even as you're talking about the parenting, what kind of parent are you going to be? No, I'll be better than my father. How?
What is that?
What is that?
Explain that.
If you're not able to define yourself, to define what kind of parent you are, how are you going else to define where to put your money? Because you still don't understand that money is supposed to come in, put in an investment somewhere, then take that money that's compounding and leave the rest of it. Now you use that to go do your things.
The one that is compounding.
The one that is compounding. Not this one that you're making. That goes for people in business and anybody who's employed. That is not your money.
The one that you're earning.
The one that you're earning in whatever thing that you're doing, that is not your money. The one that you're making out of the investments, that is the one you should be spending.
Aye! Joel bwana, hapana bwana. Unaniumiza bwana. Unaniumiza roho yangu bwana.
You see, that's why this
becomes
a sensitive thing.
Maisha yangu yote nimekuwa nikifanya mablanda tu.
No.
Mimi nimekuwa nikikula bro.
Aya. Let me mess up your mind entirely.
So the money, hold on to that idea. Hold it right there. So the money that comes out of your investment, that is what you're supposed to eat.
Yes.
Because
Not the
investment
one you're
stays.
Investment stays. And it can close. Your investment is going to stay. But the money you're making today, it can close. I have a goal of selling 10,000 copies of this. Once I make that goal come true, because it's going to happen, that money, if I take it and spend, it was a useless goal. I need to take that money and invest it somewhere, and then take that investment money, and now I can buy things.
So now, 2 Kenyans, for example, who are employed, okay? Just say they're employed.
Yes.
They don't have any businesses. Probably the wife is employed, the husband is employed.
Yes.
Okay? Say they're making a salary of 100,000. Like a figure in it we can work with.
Yes.
So that's a salary.
Yes.
Pesa inaingia kwa hiyo nyumba ni 100,000. What do you want them to eat? So what is the investment and how do they survive?
That one needs to first go down to, why are you leaving the place you are living? Is it because you want to live there, or is it because you want to be seen by society that you live in a certain neighborhood? So the 100K that is coming in, first you need to live below your means, because you are you're headed somewhere, because you're building something. You need to sacrifice now and live in a place where you can afford, so that when you take at least 30% of that 100, you get a cheap house that you can live in, because essentially you just need a place, a roof and shelter. Just shelter and a place that is safe. Get that first. For now, realizing that society does not care about you enough to care about where you live. You're the only person who has an audience in your head for you to care about what society thinks.
Yeah.
Once you have that in mind, downgrade, go live there. Then take this other money. If you're making 100, put in the back of your mind, a financial person will tell you, put in the back of your mind, you're making 50. You're not making 100.
Half.
You're making half. So live in the means of that half. Take this other 50, sacrifice for 2 years. That's 24 months. Sacrifice for 2 years. Take that money, put it in an investment that is going to bring a return. There are so many investments out here. I don't want to talk about specific ones, but there are so many investments out here. Put it there. It's giving you an interest of 18, 14, 12, depending on whichever it is. Governments give up to around 16. So depending on wherever it is. And don't think about safety. How safe is this? Do your due diligence on where you're putting your money, of course. If it's quick, something's off. If traditionally it has shown that this works, put it there.
Yeah.
There are new types of investments, so I don't dispute that. But you need to do due diligence in that how they're doing it works for you. Put in that money as you're living in that 50,000. That standard. Do it for 2 years. As this money is compounding, sit down with your partner. There's money compounding there. There's some that is coming here. What are we going to do once it comes? Because when you're putting money that's compounding and it does not have a destination, when the day it comes, you're going to spend it. Because now
it doesn't have a destination.
Yes, because now you think, we've invested a million, now we made 1.2, now you have money to spend. So you start bombarding yourself with items. A car here, a small plot there, a new suit there, a new dress here. You forget that has taken 2 years to build. So that is not 1.2 million. It's 2 years of your life.
Inanimaliza hii jamani.
So when you look at life like that,
damn,
you stop thinking of now. You start looking at where are we going? And you become intentional.
So where do you live with like 50,000? You downgrade.
You downgrade.
And you accept it.
Yes. Remove the audience in your head, because we feel shame and fear because of an audience in our minds.
You downgrade it.
Yes, you downgrade it. Go leave that place. Let them talk. You know what you're building. You know where you're going. It's the same as building a business. You know what you're building. People will laugh at you until the day it's successful. Now they start saying, I used to know Alex. We used to hang out together.
Some of us say that, once you get some money here and there, kuna ile ya kuregeshea mwili pole. At least, give back.
Yeah.
Give back, mwili furahie kidogo jamani.
Yeah.
Piga sherehe kidogo hapa na pale. You're saying
I
you
was,
give yourself 2 years.
I was to mess up your mind earlier about when you say that statement now. When you go to a 5-star hotel and you go to a kibanda, they're both selling chicken. Which chicken is not chicken? It's both chicken.
Joel M. Kariuki. Which chicken is not chicken?
Yes. When you go, and companies here, I don't know what you think about this, but there's a truth to it. When you look at a chapati being made at the streets for 10 or 20 bob, I don't know how much it is, but 10 or 20 bob.
Yeah.
And another place you go, the same chapati is 600 bob.
It's true.
Which one is not chapati? So when you're saying, give your body Paul, as you say, you're just fooling yourself in that, now because I have some, I need to spend it.
Yeah.
You're forgetting the same wheat that you had a year ago is the same wheat you're about to have. The same meat, the same beef, the same pork, the same everything.
It's the same.
It's the same. The same car you are driving, even if you get into a different car, it's just another car.
Yeah.
But now you think I need to get a new car because I've come about some money. No, you don't. That is not your money. Invest it. Once the investment gives a return, go take that. And you realize when you start doing that, you'll not buy those things. Why do people like Obama have the same color suits, same color shirts? Why does Trump have the same color shirts, same color tie? Because he understands the game. I'm not supposed to be thinking in terms of items, in terms of things to purchase. I'm supposed to be thinking in terms of what am I building? So if I wake up in the morning and I have to consciously start thinking of what to wear, how to wear, because society is going to think, it's not important.
I remember there's a time we used to do something with a businessman, Kamlesh Patni. So I would go to his office almost every day. And he had a black suit and a white shirt.
Very wealthy
every
man.
day.
Wealthy man.
Wealthy man, multi-billionaire. Every day he has a black suit and a white shirt. Why don't you have something else? You know,
because he has understood the purpose of this life. You're here to live and leave a legacy. So in the process, you just happen to eat this, eat that, explain this, understand that, wear this, wear that. Once you've had that, now move from it, become a new version. This one that is building for a certain thing. This one that is knows, by the time I'm 40, I need to have built this, not have bought this. Difference. Not
built
bought,
this,
built
not bought.
this. I will have kids. They will be at this age. I want them to understand this about society, about life. Not when when I'm 40 and my kids are, let's say, 10, I want them to have this. When they have that, how will that help them in their future? It won't. Now they'll know, if there's a problem, I'll run to Papa. If there's a problem, I'll run to.
Wow. This must continue. Joel, you must come back here. There's a lot of questions I still have. And I believe you also have a lot of questions. Please comment pale kwa comment section. You need to come back. There's quite so much we can talk about when it comes to money, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to family, investments, and all that. And I need you to come back. Tafadhali.
Gladly.
That's Joel M. Kariuki, ladies and gentlemen. He's an author. He has 2 books here, by the way. Please talk about them.
Now,
Yeah.
currently we have 2 books.
Yeah.
One is the Mythos Prayer. This is how to pray once and live forever. Why this book came about is I grew up not understanding exactly why we pray the way we pray. So we grow up in thinking that we are supposed to become a thing. We're supposed to go out there and look for something instead of sitting down and understanding the statement that is written. This is the Lord's temple. As a man thinketh, so is he. Meaning, as you think of yourself, as you believe in yourself, as you understand yourself, you tend to become that in reality. So when it comes to prayer, are you praying out of abundance or are you praying from lack? This book teaches you how to pray by understanding yourself, who God is within you, and the level of abundance that is already available. You just need to tap into it.
Wow.
The vetting files is to understand people, both emotionally, spiritually, and behaviorally. Why? We've talked about relationships today.
Yes.
The biggest problem in all this that we've talked about is lack of understanding.
Yourself or the other person?
Yourself.
About yourself.
Yourself first.
Okay.
So you need to understand yourself first for you to be able to accommodate the other person. Because if a person controls your emotions, they control you.
It's true.
Because if she triggers you, that means she has a hold on you.
It's true.
If you're triggered by the way things are working out here, they have a hold on you.
It's true.
By the time you get to read this is not a manual to go now start asking people questions. This is a manual so that you're able to notice it before it happens. These 2 books are available at joelkariuki.com. You can shop there. You can get an ebook. You can get a hard copy if you want. Delivery is anywhere in the world. There's an audiobook coming in at the end of this week. So any person who needs it, reach out.
That's what's up, ladies and gentlemen. It's been real, I'm telling you. If you're not learning, I don't know, because I'm learning. This is AMTV. I'm your chairman, Alex Mwakideu. Spread the word. Please share widely, subscribe, like, and comment, because the next episode, takuwa nasoma hizi comments. Thank you so much for watching. Let's meet on the next one.